Everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SoundCloud Studios, brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The Missing, also brought to you by Illuminati, think tank of the future. The Sweet Songs by Serena Wagner, based on the life of King David on Amazon, and High Time Music. Check out the latest at hightimemusic.com. We're here with two terrific sisters, better music teachers from South California with years of professional experience. He had their music featured in Ghostbusters remake, Santa Clarita Diet, and the Jim Henson video radio, plus A Simple Favor. And also, they have a new release featuring songs about going to school, going to bed, missing loved ones when they're going away, and celebrating the best you, and other topics inspired by extensive experience with working with children. Also, they've been No Small Children More, and yes, they say you're a star. Live, ladies and gentlemen, plus dudes in beautiful downtown Los Angeles, the amazing duo. They were No Small Children, and they're called the Hat Ladies, featuring Lisa and Joni Pimentel. Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi,
Love your hats,
everybody.
guys.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Yes, yes, yes. I'm the blue. Lisa's in blue, Joni's in pink.
And I have to get one too, and I'll look like Dr. Seuss.
That's
And we
right.
know it's going to be a ruse. Yes.
That's right.
Oh, all the hats and everything else. You guys have been better music teachers for quite some time from Southern California. Years of professional experience. Your music featuring Ghostbuster remake, Santa Clarita Diet, Jim Henson video radio, A Simple Favor, and you have a new release featuring songs about going to school, going to bed, missing loved ones when they're away, celebrating the best you, and other topics inspired by your extensive experience working with children. And you have a new album which is called You're a Star. Before getting all that, along with No Small Children, tell us how I first got started.
Okay.
Well,
Way
first of
back
all,
machine. Way back machine.
Yeah.
First of all, can we thank you for that amazing intro?
Yes.
That
honey.
was incredible. Oh, you are wonderful for our self-esteem. I appreciate that. Lisa,
Well, we're doing it for the children, right? No small
Right, for the
children,
kids.
right?
Yeah,
Gotta do it for the kids.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. Well, let me see. We'll start from the very beginning. So Joni, like you said, we're sisters.
we have the same parents.
Yeah, we have the same parents, and we grew up in a house, a big family with a lot of music and a lot of instruments around, sort of a free range approach to music, where
A lot of love.
a lot of love, like picking things up and just seeing how it worked. And I would say there was a true curiosity for both Joni and me and our other siblings too. And we would then when we got to school age where we could join band and orchestra, Joni played the cello. I started on the saxophone, and we did the whole high school, all the way through high school, in the jazz band, and Joni was in the quartet. We did all that. And then, but along the way, we also played rock music. Like I started playing drums, and Joni started singing, and we had bands in high school and then in college, and and we did that for a long time. And then I ended up going to be a teacher. I was a high school band director. Joni was playing, she had a family. Joni started a family, she's got kids. And we were doing our, hustling and doing our thing. And we both had our bands. And next thing you know, my punk band, I was more punky and like hardcore music. Joni was more like sunken funk and soul and R&B and stuff
yeah.
like that. We weren't really in bands together. And then I joined her band on saxophone in a funk band, and we did a lot of playing all over the place. That was awesome. We opened for Maceo Parker once, and
Nice.
we played with Parliament Funk. We no
George Clinton
Yeah,
and the
George Clinton.
Parliament.
George Clinton walking the dog. Yeah, we're walking
man.
the dog.
Exactly. Like we actually, it's a
I-
whole. Wait till
I sang on stage. I
Yeah.
sang Atomic Dog on stage with George Clinton.
and I played saxophone. Oh man, it was so incredible.
Yeah.
There were a couple crazy nights there.
5-hour concert.
Yeah, I was tired.
Yeah.
And then
Oh my goodness.
And then my punk band, eventually we did the whole like Boston scene. Like we were really in it, working our day jobs and then doing that. And then my punk band out of nowhere, I was a band director at the time, got a call from Warner Brothers. They flew us to Troubadour. My punk band gets signed. Next thing you know, I left my job. I came out to LA, and we made a record for Warner Brothers, right? So then I'm here, as it often does. The record label, after 3 really awesome fun years of doing it, the punk band that all fell apart, and I really miss teaching. Like both of us, we have our bands, but teaching is like really part of our soul, So I started looking for jobs out here in LA, and I found this really awesome job. I did that for a while. And I'm like, we really need a good string person out here. We need like put some life into our program. And then next thing you know, Joni comes out
And the vocal
and a
program.
vocal program, yeah. And so she comes out and she ends up working at the same school as me. So we work at the same school now to this day. She teaches K through 4 and I teach 5 and 6 and then do the instrumental. We have this really robust instrumental program. But then we started a band together. We're like, we need a band, we're another band, because band. That's her life. That's like the one concert. Band. Like I could give you my timeline of bands all through my life, right?
Yeah, and actually, like that's how we, create the timeline of our life. It's not like, oh, when we moved to LA, it's like, no, when I was playing with Super Honey, or
Yeah.
when you were
Oh,
playing with
yeah.
this.
Super Honey.
It's
Yeah,
yeah.
we'd be here forever and ever like a king scroll practically.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then we're like, let's start a band together. And so there was a drummer, one of the fourth grade teachers at our school was a drummer. So she played drums. So I started playing guitar and we started this band called No Small Children, which is sort of a pun. The kids love it. That we're called No Small Children. Like it's like a joke that kids get. So we started playing, thinking it was just going to be like a punky kind of underground thing. It started doing really, really well. And next thing you know, we're all touring all over the place and we're getting all these big placements like Ghostbusters and Simple Favor and like we got
Santa
a couple
Clarita
video
Diet.
games, music and that, and things are just like really working for us because which was really fun, and we had this like sisterhood between the three of us.
And we
Yeah,
hustled.
we hustled.
We worked
Yeah,
really hard.
really, really hard. Yeah.
Yes.
So then our drummer, Nicola, she got a principal job in Northern California. So she left and is up there. And when she went, I mean, we're still like a band, but we're not nearly as busy. So we're
Yeah.
normal busy. That's what we
Yeah,
say.
we're not exactly.
And so I'm like, Joni, let's do a children's album once and for all. Let's just get this done because we've been talking about it forever. We've been writing these songs over the years and using them in classes. And it's kind of our wheelhouse. It's like not rocket science. We should do this. Plus, I'm a music producer on top of it. So we have everything we need to do that. So we took all the songs we had, we curated it down to what we thought was like recordable. And we ended up with 4 songs. So we knew we had to write 5 more. So we really like hit our nose to the grindstone, wrote 5 more and started the record. And what I was thinking about this is that a couple things that we did differently on this record is one, we put a deadline on it for ourselves. We said, all right, by August 27th, we're going to have this record done. And the reason is it's so easy to procrastinate on it because this is like it's really a lot of work to make a record. So it's like, oh, I'll just, edit that tomorrow. Oh, I'll just, record that tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, we're just so tired. So, but we just like really pushed ourselves to make sure that, okay, no, yeah, my husband's going to go watch TV. I'm going to go in the studio. I'm going to do this. And then I'll watch TV. And just like every day, like making sure we didn't procrastinate. And then by the 27th of August, we had it done. And so we really kicked butt on that. I'm really proud of that. The other thing we did differently is instead of recording drums on every song and then bass and then bass, we did one song at a time. So like Joni would come in with a song idea, we'd like work it out, which we've gotten all this experience. We're pretty good at like compromising,
And
and giving each other notes that are kind of hard sometimes to hear.
And there's a shorthand that
Yeah.
happens when you've worked with somebody for a long time, and also when you're related to them. For some folks that doesn't work well, but for us it works really well.
Yeah.
Because like Lisa, we can kind of debate a certain thing or give feedback or whatever, and don't not have to kind of go get to a shortcut around some of the language around it. And just because I know Lisa's most invested in making the song is amazing as it can be, and she knows that's what I'm invested in. So it's easier to hear criticism or feedback when you know what the person's intentions are.
Yeah, so she'd come in with the song, we'd like produce it, or we call it pre-production. Pre-production is like all the work you do before you record it, and then we do the drums and then the bass and the guitar and the whatever, and we stack it, the whole song done, and then go to the next song, unlike doing the drums for every song. So in the end, I really liked that because I felt like we really got inside of each song and just it's like having a conversation with one person all night as opposed to 10 people in one night.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
I just made that up.
That was
It,
really
it certainly does, yeah. And of course, you got your amazing songs in there too from your style. We'll talk more about that with Hat Lees. But first, you listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. It's powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all you need. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even love and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes, Riley, and else. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out upcoming on Amazon from Mia Molson-Zia, Missing 2, double the fun, double the action, double the suspense. Check it out on Amazon.com. Also, Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Illumnifically, think tank of the future, bringing scientists and engineers together from all over the world, creating a method to construct a renewable generator. This unique product operates on a closed-loop system, generating more energy internally and needs to function. The extra electricity can be used to run everything from homes, power grids, phones, laptops. This power source is renewable, highly scalable, most importantly, self-regenerate. For more information, visit facebook.com/Illumniptical. That's ELLUMENIPTICAL.com today. Also, Mike Wagner's show is brought to you by The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of King David, including 30 exquisite paintings in King David's Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives a new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote in his time as a shepherd where it started, plus his complicated yet turbulent relationship with King Saul, story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner. Also brought to you by High 10 Music, featuring the Smash Hit Baby Comeback and new music coming soon. Check it out. High10music.com. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com and on any mobile device. Make sure you take us with you. 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries. Subscribe to us on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, BitChute, and Rumble, and all the devices that you can think of. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. If you're interested, email me to the Mike Wagner Show at gmail.com and I'll give you some information on that or to order. You can also leave a comment in the audio and video section of the interview, and we'll make sure that gets taken care of. And for more great gift ideas, Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. And support us on Mike Wagner Show and Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with the amazing 2 sisters, veteran music teachers from Southern California, Lisa and Joey Pintel, called the Hat Ladies here on the Mike Wagner Show. And let's get right to being You're a Star, and tell us more about that.
Okay, while you were doing your commercial break, we found our dry erase board from that.
Oh, wow.
So you can see over there, see it's got all the songs, and then as we went through, these are all the things that had to get done on the record. And then we just go through and cross it off as we went. So
oh my gosh. I thought it looked like a football pool or something. It's like
does.
exit
I'll
off,
tell you.
0 through
bring
9.
it back to football, right, Mike?
That is true teacher fashion,
Yeah.
by the way,
Yeah.
where we have a plan and we check
Yes.
off boxes and we keep track and we have deadlines.
Sometimes on that list, we did things and then added it and checked it off.
Yes, because it feels really good to
Yeah, we
check
like to
stuff
check it
off
off,
lists.
Yeah.
There you go. Certainly indeed as well, too. You have the title track, Big World, When I Go to School, I Missed You, and more. And tell us about some of those songs.
Well, so some of these songs were written a long time ago, and some of them were written more recently, and some of them were written specifically for the album. So what we thought of eventually is when we stood and looked at the songs that we had, what became clear was that there was a story there. And even though it was perhaps unintentional, we could follow this the arc of this story more broadly about maybe experience that a child or even adult might have, starting with, just affirmation and then figuring out how to push past anxiety, fear, any grief, things like that, how to get to school, how to get through that day, how to, how it feels when you miss somebody that you love, that all of these things, when we put those songs down in front of us, we realize that all together they created a story.
And can I just add to that too, is that like one thing about the teachers, we're in a world where we work with a lot of teachers. And it's just and the people that we work with take children seriously. Like they take their opinions seriously. They take their emotions seriously. And and um and it's a really important part of for Joni and me. It's a really important part of who we are as teachers, that we take the kids seriously. And it was important to us that the album and the lyrics and the messages take children's experiences seriously.
Yes.
And so, like, for example, the one about, when I go to school, that's about an actual kid. Like when that was written, there was a kid, and I told him too, it
Yeah.
was of the student, that he was in like second grade and he was just freaking out. He didn't want to go to school. It was the first day of school and he was really scared. And it's, as an adult, I think it's easy to go, oh, get over it, kid. But in that child's mind, in the world we live in today, not the world that we live in when we were in second grade, but
I
this world today,
remember that. Yes.
as a
Yes.
second grader today in this crazy world, how it feels to be that kid, is just by listening to them and taking that perspective really seriously and writing. And that kid that day, he got it together and he went to the class, and that took so much courage for him to do that. And it ends up being like a triumph for him, and it ends up being an example, that, because it turns out like we've gotten so many messages about some of these songs, and a lot of that one in particular about parents sending their college kids off to school. Like that's the feeling that like kids are feeling terrified to go to the freshman year, and leaving home for the first time and all of that, and all the songs are sort of rooted in those real life experiences. Like Joni with I Missed You,
Yeah.
these kids like miss their parents so much, they're working.
And I actually wrote that song for my own children when they left for college. And it was a reminder of no matter how far away we are, I'm never that far. Or never that far. That's what that song is. And then I Missed You was about, I actually wrote that over COVID because
Oh,
I was
wow.
imagining what it would be like when the kids came back, when we actually got to be physically with them. So I wrote a song in anticipation of them coming back to campus. And it's kind of a silly, joyful song, which it just expresses a root emotion, which I missed you. I missed you. That's all it was. And just kind of dovetailing onto what Lisa just said about the kids having real experiences. As music educators, we get to hear a lot of music that's been aimed at kids. And sometimes if the writers aren't careful, you can sound like you're singing down to them. And it's unnecessarily sticky sweet. And also in this current day and age, a lot of families are listening to music together. They are streaming music. So these kids know artists that you would be surprised to
Like
know.
I heard Tyler the Creator, like they were like listening to Tyler the Creator. It's
They
like,
were listening to Mary J. Blige. They
yeah.
were listening to the Beatles, to the Rolling Stones. They were listening to Sam Cooke. They're listening to and it's a lot of it is because they are experiencing music with their parents and their families. So the other layer to this is we all understand that children, when they like something, they want to do it or hear it or over and
Or
over and
keep going
over
and
and over
going
again.
and going. Yes.
That's
Uh-huh.
right. And so if you were going to ask a parent or a guardian to play a song on repeat over and over again, why not make it one that they might actually like too? So this music is not just directed at children, it's really directed at families. We want them to be able to experience this together.
Hmm.
And like Lisa said, we've gotten incredible feedback from people we didn't even realize it was going to touch them
Yeah.
in the way that it did.
Yeah. Can I speak? There's one more song I'd want to speak about, and it was this. It's the song "Human." I think it's track 3 or 4.
Yes, four.
Track 4, which was written by because so we work with a lot of we've created this instrumental program at our at our school, and we have a lot of teachers that work with us. And there was one of the guys. His name's Jeremy Wendell Jones. He's amazing, and he was coaching one of the bands at our summer program, and they wrote this song called "Human." And the song is really, and this was years ago. It was
Yeah, it was
like pre-COVID, I
4 years,
think. Yeah.
5 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, and he wrote this with this kid, and then we ended up, and I always loved this song. And then when Joni and I talked about the record, I said, I want to call Jeremy and see if so he wrote that actually with the kids. And it was
Wow.
so fitting because human, and then it's really resonating with all the kids too, because they live in this world where everyone's just like so mean to each other and and the way that
Oh,
we talk with each other and the way that how we treat each other and here we are at school, all the teachers are going, oh, be nice, and every example in the world is not being nice. And so I think they're singing along. It's like, oh, it's a song about like not agreeing, but compromising and being human and like finding common ground and that we're just human, and that if we could just focus on can we agree that we're human, and then
Right.
starting there and then talk about everything else. And that's kind of what the song's about. And it's really, really resonating with the kids. It's they love singing it, and people are sending us. We've gotten several videos of people in their car with all of them singing along in the car
It's,
on the
oh
radio.
my
It's
God.
crazy. Yeah, it's
oh,
incredible.
it
I'll
sounds
tell
Yeah.
like
you,
it.
yeah,
Yeah. And
nothing
of course,
fills your,
and of
sorry,
course, you can also teach them a CD, the cassette, and also vinyl making a comeback. I mean, that's great education right there.
Right.
well,
Yeah, it
vinyl,
is.
I
Yeah.
I will tell you, in my classroom, if I were to take out a record, they'd be like, what's that? They might recognize a record more like a vinyl record than they would like a cassette or an eight
That'd be a
track
fun
tape.
activity though, to bring it in and
What
like,
is it?
yeah, like make a game. What is
Yeah,
this?
8 track tape
Oh,
was
eight
all the,
track.
yeah,
You're
they would,
old.
you listen to 8 track
No,
tapes.
well, that
She,
was at the
Oh,
tail.
we love the 8 tracks back in the day. Just walk away, play, and forget it.
that's right. But the,
But you couldn't fast forward. That drove me crazy.
no,
Okay.
yeah, I agree. But the even though the medium with which they are listening to the music has changed, I am so grateful that families can enjoy such a huge library of music. It's just
Yeah.
astonishing
It's pretty
how
crazy.
much they have
And
access to.
with our music too, like with this record, one thing is that when you're making a record, you have no idea how it's going to be received.
It's true.
You're just making it, so you just got to create it from your heart and create it something that you feel connected to creatively, and then hope other people like it too. And we're just so incredibly thrilled with the reception of this album. Like,
Yeah.
it's 9 songs. I got to be careful, Mike. Not a vinyl album, but the record. We're just super thrilled that it's resonating with people as much as it resonates with us to make it.
Mhm. And also social media also plays in part of it as well too. Like with dealing with
Huge.
situations. Well, it's like how do you guys manage to handle social media? Like help them differentiate. It's like is Twitter real life or call it X? I'm sorry, I still call it Twitter or even
Mhm.
like Facebook. Is it real or fantasy or even like Instagram or Threads?
Yeah.
That's been the latest one.
So,
Yeah.
the topic of social media obviously comes up quite a bit in the education world, and especially more recently, where these kind of broad studies are showing just how dangerous social media can be for young people, and just all the additional screen time that was essentially ramped up during COVID, among other things. And you know, I've talked about a lot that my job as a teacher is not to tell somebody what to think, but to help teach them how to think and thinking critically. And honestly, I think that education is our best chance at combating the woes of the world, and especially where social media is concerned. Because if a child grows up knowing how to think critically, they will look at things like that and say, that doesn't sound true, or that doesn't seem right. And granted, it is getting harder. as things become more sophisticated. But I do think that education is the key. And if you can teach children how to think critically, you'll have less to worry about later on.
I think that's a really good point as well, too. To think more about that, and of course, there's a lot of other things too, and of course, how can we help in the whole thing?
Yes. Well,
Well, yeah.
I know it's kind of a rhetorical question. I think that I'm thinking about what areas of the world can I affect and where am I most likely to be impactful? And I'm going to dig into that. And right now, that's teaching and music.
Yeah. Teaching music, same.
And I think that's really good as well, too. And what else is coming up for the Hat Lays? We'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SOCAL Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Moses Missing. Also brought to you by Illumnifically, Think Tank of the Future, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David on Amazon, and Hayitan Music. Check out the Lays at HayitanMusic.com. We'll be back to the multi-talent Hat Ladies, Lisa and Joni Pimentel, with your star after this time up. We're back with the Hat Ladies, Lisa and Joni Pimentel here on the Mike Wagner Show. And, just one more thing. Where can we find your star at and all your other works at?
Well, you can go to all the streaming platforms. We also have a YouTube series and
We made 2 shows. We have a YouTube show
show
called WHAT, Hat Ladies Radio.
and it's a very, very silly and fun, short little time.
It's like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. And we have interviews and we have a segment called What's That All About? And where one of us gets blindfolded and Lisa feeds me something and I have to guess what it is.
Things like that.
Stuff like that. It's really, really fun. And we also...
It's the Hat Ladies on YouTube.
Yes, the Hat Ladies, and then our website also, which is
thehatladiesmusic.com.
We have merch that's coming, so if you like capes,
yeah, we have capes.
If you like
Slay, Hat Ladies Way all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you like capes, if you like t-shirts, if you like hats, if you like beaded bracelets, you can go to our website and purchase those items. Yes.
All right.
You can see us on the Mike Wagner Show as well.
Yeah, it's Mike Wagner Show.
That's right. We'll certainly do that as well. We're looking forward to get with that as well, too. And what else can we expect from you guys in 2025 and beyond?
Well, it's for us, it's like always about the next thing. It's always has been. So at this point, we're starting to put some songs together for another Hat Ladies album. Joni and I, of course, have another band with a whole bunch of teachers. It's more like a collective. Because we have all this incredible group of teachers that we work with. So we have this band called Margot's Bench, which we perform locally around LA, and it's actually really, really fun, and we're doing really well. So we have that. And more music from the Hat Ladies. We have a bunch of interviews. We're playing shows. We're putting music out. We're just hustling all the time till the day we move on.
Yes.
There you go. And I think that's a great way to put it, guys. And who do you consider biggest influence in your careers?
Ooh, I think probably my parents.
Margot.
Yeah.
Jossie.
And I've played with a lot of incredible musicians who have inspired me. I can tell you who are my biggest influences are musically. But this show isn't long enough. And honestly, I think we're inspired most by the people who really helped breathe life into our dreams. And those are our parents, the people who love us most, our spouses, our children, our friends, other relatives, our kids, our students, our school. We work at the most amazing school. We teach at Oakwood Elementary School in North Hollywood, California.
We grew up playing music in the public school.
Yeah.
That's where we learned how to play, in the public school, playing saxophone, drums, cello,
singing.
sing. We were the nerdy kids. Actually,
Yeah.
I was nerdy. You were kind of cool.
I
I was like the nerdy band lady.
Oh, there you go. That's the best way to do it. And yes, indeed. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Ooh, I would not be so presumptuous to give anybody advice.
Advice for who?
Anybody?
In general.
Ooh, slay all day.
I would say that to always leave, if you always lead with love, the results are usually awesome. And I would say also,
Wait, I'm going to say mine too. One thing is that my advice is also this, and I'm thinking when I'm thinking of my students, I'm like, let your light shine. Let your light shine. Don't let anybody dim your light.
and then tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Yeah.
You got that right, guys. Those are really good advice. We're with the Hat Ladies, Lisa and Joni Pimentel of Your Star here on the Mike Wagner Show. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'll laugh at you back. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your music?
You can go to thehatladiesmusic.com. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Music. We're on YouTube. We are on Bandcamp.
We're on like that list you did at the beginning. It's like that long.
Yeah.
But-
Yes. But first and foremost, if you go to our website, it will have links to our pages on streaming platforms, which Spotify and Apple Music, which are usually the most common ones. But you can also go to Bandcamp. Oh, the other thing we should mention is that, again, as music educators, we understand how helpful it is to have resources that we can use in the classroom. So Lisa actually was able to create tracks of every single one of our songs minus the vocals. And we also have all of the lead sheets. So educators, if they want to teach these songs to their students, they can get the sheet music and they can also get a backing track to use with their students. And that's through
Bandcamp, yeah.
Yeah,
The cool
Bandcamp.
thing about Bandcamp, it has all the credits for every song and everything, all the info. We love Bandcamp.
That
Yes.
is a really good idea. I like that. Just having access to teachers and everything in it, that's a great idea for the resources. I love that.
And the
Yes.
All right.
the songs are written pedagogic, like with pedagogy in mind. So like solfege kind of, if you're a music teacher, they're written with that pedagogy in mind.
Yeah, these songs were designed specifically for kids to sing.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. I love that idea. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. The Hat Ladies, you guys are absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love having you back. We wish you all the best. And guys, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you
so
Mike.
much, Mike.
Bye.
Bye there.